Love, a topic that we all have experienced at least once, but do you really understand it? Why are some relationships strong, while others are easily broken? Have you ever wondered if the story between you and your ex is truly finished, or if it's simply paused on a cliffhanger no one dares to acknowledge? Long after the goodbye has faded and the status has changed, subtle breadcrumbs can reveal whether he still walks the shadowed corridors of your shared past. From silent late-night profile views to the unspoken language of a lingering gaze, these clues often whisper louder than any farewell ever could. Before you close the book, or consider reopening it, discover the 7 telltale signs that he still carries your memory like an unfinished sentence. Welcome to the channel, Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is where you will find valuable lessons and secrets to help you build a truly lasting love. In today's video, Sophia will explore with you 7 signs he still can't forget you after breaking up. Don't miss out on advice that can change the way you perceive and live in love. You will definitely feel more comfortable when you find a quiet place and put on your headphones. Let yourself relax and be ready to receive the positive messages in today's video. Are you ready to embark on this journey with Sophia? Let's get started together. Number 1. He still secretly follows you on social media. After a breakup, many people choose to completely cut ties to heal and move forward. They unfollow, unfriend, or even block their ex to avoid reopening emotional wounds. But if your ex still keeps a subtle eye on you through social media, it can be a powerful sign that he has not truly moved on. In the digital age, where so much of our lives are shared online, the act of silently observing someone's life can reveal deeper emotions than words ever could. One of the clearest signs that he still thinks about you is if he continues to watch your stories, like your posts, or view your updates without directly interacting. Maybe he does not comment or message you, but he is always there, quietly keeping track of your life. It might seem harmless at first, but behind that silence often lies a sea of unresolved feelings. Social media provides a low-risk way for someone to stay connected without the vulnerability of reaching out. He might tell himself he is just curious, but if he consistently checks your updates days, weeks, or even months after the breakup, it suggests that you still occupy space in his mind. He wants to know how you are doing, who you are spending time with, and whether you are happy without him. Every photo you post, every new experience you share, becomes a small window into the life he no longer shares with you. In some cases, he might even create secondary or anonymous accounts to view your content without you knowing. This level of effort shows that he struggles with the idea of letting go completely. He is not ready to accept the finality of the breakup, and even a silent glimpse of your life brings him a bittersweet comfort. It is also telling if he reacts subtly to what you post. For example, if you share a photo from a place you both loved, and he suddenly posts something nostalgic or sends mutual friends casual questions about you, it shows that your presence still stirs emotions in him. Sometimes, he might mirror your online behavior. If you post about traveling, he might post something adventurous too. If you share a motivational quote, he might post something similarly reflective. These small echoes are not coincidences, they are unconscious ways of staying connected to your world. Another layer to this behavior is emotional validation. Watching your life from afar might be his way of seeking reassurance. If you seem happy and thriving, he might feel regret or sadness. If you appear to be struggling, he might experience a twisted sense of comfort, convincing himself that you miss him too. In either case, his emotions are still deeply entangled with you. Sometimes, he might even accidentally like an old photo or story, betraying his hidden surveillance. It is easy to brush this off as a slip of the thumb, but often it is a subconscious desire to be noticed, even briefly. It is a way of saying, "I am still here," without having to say anything at all. Of course, not every case of following an ex online means deep lingering feelings. Some people are simply curious or even indifferent. But if his behavior is consistent, emotional, and subtle, it often points to unfinished emotional business. He is stuck between wanting to let go and not knowing how to. For you, recognizing this behavior is important. It can be flattering to know that someone still thinks about you, but it can also be confusing and emotionally exhausting if you are trying to move on. The attention might keep old wounds open longer than necessary. If you notice that his quiet presence on your social media affects your healing, it might be healthier to create some boundaries, whether by adjusting privacy settings or taking a break from certain platforms. Ultimately, someone who cannot stop checking up on you is someone who is still carrying a part of you within them. His silent views, his secret likes, his hesitant digital footsteps across your life, these are all whispers of emotions he has not fully resolved. Whether he eventually reaches out, tries to win you back, or simply lingers in the background, the fact remains, in the vast digital world, he still chooses to stay close to you, even from a distance. Everyone has a different perspective, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Leave a comment below and let's discuss. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join me in the next videos. Let's continue together. Number 2. He frequently finds excuses to contact you. After a breakup, true emotional separation often requires a period of no contact. It allows both individuals the space and clarity needed to heal and rebuild their lives independently. However, when a man frequently finds reasons to reach out to you, even over trivial matters, it is rarely just coincidence. It is a strong indication that he is still emotionally attached and not yet ready to let you go. You might notice that he sends you messages about things that seem insignificant. Maybe he texts you to ask about a restaurant you once visited together, even though he could easily find the information online. Perhaps he claims he stumbled upon an old item of yours and needs to return it, months after the breakup. Or maybe he sends a casual message just to check if you still have a mutual friend's contact information. These small and seemingly innocent excuses are rarely about the practicalities. They are about maintaining a thread of connection. When someone misses you but feels uncertain or vulnerable, finding trivial excuses to communicate becomes a safe middle ground. He might fear outright admitting that he still cares, so instead, he cloaks his need for contact behind questions, reminders, and updates. It is his way of staying present in your life without openly exposing his emotions. In many cases, these excuses are designed to test the waters. He wants to see how you react. Are you cold and distant? Are you warm and welcoming? Do you respond quickly, or do you hesitate? Every small interaction provides him with clues about where you stand emotionally. Even a simple "thanks for letting me know" text from you can give him a tiny sense of hope that the bond between you is not completely broken. Sometimes, his reasons for contacting you might escalate beyond the trivial. He might start conversations about shared memories, mutual friends, or future events, subtly weaving himself back into your emotional world. He might ask for advice on something personal, creating opportunities for deeper, more meaningful conversations. Underneath it all, his actions are rarely about the content of the message, they are about the connection he is trying to preserve. This behavior often reveals a conflict within him. On one hand, he knows the relationship has ended. On the other hand, his heart refuses to fully accept that reality. By reaching out, even for the smallest reasons, he can momentarily ease the pain of separation. It is a way to feel close to you without having to confront the vulnerability of asking to come back. It is also important to notice the patterns. If he reaches out during emotionally charged times, like holidays, birthdays, or significant anniversaries, it is especially telling. Those moments naturally stir up memories and emotions, and contacting you during those times shows that you are still deeply embedded in his inner emotional landscape. In some cases, the excuses can even become more elaborate. He might create situations where he needs your help, even when it is not strictly necessary. Maybe he claims he urgently needs your opinion on something he could easily decide on his own. Maybe he asks for your advice about his career, his family, or other personal matters. These scenarios are crafted to pull you back into his orbit, creating moments of shared trust and connection. For you, understanding the intention behind these frequent contacts is crucial. While it might feel comforting to know that he still cares, it can also complicate your own healing journey. If you are trying to move on, repeated contact can reopen emotional wounds and prolong the process of letting go. It can create a cycle of hope and disappointment that keeps you emotionally tethered to a relationship that has already ended. If you still have feelings for him, his excuses might seem sweet or reassuring. But if you are determined to heal, it is important to set clear boundaries. You deserve the space to rebuild your life without constant reminders of what was. Responding politely but firmly, or limiting your availability for casual conversations, can help you protect your emotional well-being. At the end of the day, when a man keeps finding reasons to contact you after a breakup, it speaks volumes about what is happening in his heart. He misses you. He regrets losing you. And even if he does not have the courage to say it out loud, his actions reveal the truth. Every text, every call, every excuse is his silent way of saying, "I am not ready to let you go." If you are still watching the video, do not hesitate to comment continue. Leave your thoughts and questions below in the comment section. I look forward to hearing your opinions, and do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that Sophia has more motivation to create more good and meaningful videos. Let's continue together. Number 3. He often brings up old memories. When a man frequently brings up old memories after a breakup, it is rarely a random act of nostalgia. More often than not, it reveals that he is still emotionally tied to you. Memories are powerful. They have the ability to transport us back to moments filled with love, laughter, and connection. For someone who has not truly moved on, revisiting those moments becomes a way to hold on to the relationship that once was. You might notice that during casual conversations, he somehow steers the topic back to a memory you shared. It could be a vacation you took together, a song you both loved, or even an inside joke that only the two of you understood. At first glance, it may seem harmless or even sweet. But if he consistently references your shared past, it signals that he is emotionally living in that space far more than he admits. Bringing up old memories serves multiple emotional purposes for him. First, it allows him to reconnect with the feelings he had when he was with you. When he talks about a trip you took or a meaningful conversation you once had, he is not just recalling events, he is re-experiencing the emotions tied to them. In a way, he is trying to relive those moments because they brought him happiness, comfort, and a sense of belonging. Second, mentioning shared memories can be a subtle way of testing your emotional response. If you react warmly, laugh along, or show fondness, it gives him hope that you might still feel something for him. If you respond coldly or change the subject, it sends a clear message that you are moving on. Either way, he gathers emotional information about where you stand. There is also a deeper psychological aspect at play. When people are grieving the loss of a relationship, they often romanticize the past. They forget the fights, the misunderstandings, and the reasons the breakup happened. Instead, they focus on the good times, painting the relationship in a golden light. By bringing up old memories, he may be trying to convince himself, and you, that what you had was too special to truly let go of. In some cases, he might even frame the memories in a way that suggests regret or longing. For example, he might say, "Remember that little cafe we always used to go to? I have not found another place that feels the same." Comments like this are not just about reminiscing, they are about expressing an unspoken wish to recapture what was lost. He might also mention how certain things remind him of you. Maybe he says he thought of you when he heard a particular song or visited a place you once went together. These remarks are his way of showing that, despite the passage of time, you still occupy a meaningful place in his everyday experiences. For you, hearing about old memories can stir a complex mix of emotions. On one hand, it might be comforting to know that the relationship meant something real and lasting. On the other hand, it can reopen emotional wounds or create confusion about whether you should reconsider the breakup. It is important to approach these moments with clarity. Ask yourself whether revisiting the past is helping you heal or keeping you stuck. Sometimes, nostalgia can be a beautiful reminder of the good that once was. But if it prevents you from moving forward, it can become an emotional trap. If you sense that he is using shared memories as a way to pull you back into the relationship without addressing the real issues that caused the breakup, be cautious. Love built only on memories, without real change or growth, often repeats the same patterns that led to heartbreak in the first place. However, if both of you have grown individually and there is genuine, mutual effort to rebuild trust and understanding, old memories can serve as a foundation for a new beginning. It all depends on the context, the intentions, and the actions that follow. In any case, the fact that he frequently brings up old memories speaks volumes. It shows that you left a lasting impression on his heart, one that time has not easily erased. His mind and emotions continue to wander back to the moments you shared, searching for comfort, meaning, and perhaps a second chance. At the end of the day, memories are powerful, but they are not enough to sustain a relationship on their own. Whether you choose to revisit the past with him or close that chapter for good, remember that your future deserves more than just echoes of what once was. It deserves a love that is alive, growing, and real. Number 4. He shows strong reactions when he hears about you. After a breakup, most people eventually settle into a place of emotional neutrality when it comes to their former partners. They might feel a twinge of nostalgia or mild curiosity, but their reactions are generally calm and detached. However, when a man consistently shows strong emotional reactions, whether positive or negative, upon hearing news about you, it reveals that he is still emotionally invested in you. Strong reactions are powerful indicators that your presence continues to have a deep impact on him, even if you are no longer in direct contact. These reactions can take many forms: sudden jealousy when he hears you are dating someone new, unexpected sadness when he learns you have achieved something without him, or even irritation when your name comes up in conversation. Regardless of the emotion, the common thread is intensity. Where there is strong emotion, there is still attachment. You might hear through mutual friends that he asked about you, showing an unusual level of curiosity. Questions like, "Is she seeing anyone?" or "How is she doing these days?" might seem casual on the surface, but they often mask deeper feelings. A man who has moved on usually does not dwell on these details. When he is still emotionally entangled, every piece of information about you feels personal and significant. His reactions might also be visible on social media. If he sees you posting about a new relationship, career move, or exciting life event, he might react by posting cryptic quotes, pictures that hint at sadness, or even appearing unusually active online. Sometimes, he might even unfriend or block you impulsively after seeing something that triggers him emotionally. These are not the actions of someone who has found peace, they are signs of unresolved emotions bubbling to the surface. Another telling behavior is how he handles hearing about you in social settings. If someone mentions your name and he immediately stiffens, looks away, or becomes visibly uncomfortable, it shows that you still have a powerful effect on him. Alternatively, he might overcompensate by pretending to be indifferent or making dismissive comments, but even that forced casualness reveals emotional struggle beneath the surface. Jealousy is one of the clearest indicators. If he finds out you are dating someone new and reacts strongly, whether by making sarcastic remarks, questioning your choices, or suddenly trying to insert himself back into your life, it shows that he still sees you as someone important. Jealousy does not arise from indifference, it is fueled by a sense of loss and lingering desire. On the flip side, even seemingly positive reactions, like being overly happy about your successes, can sometimes be layered with complexity. He might genuinely be happy for you, but that happiness is often tinged with sadness, regret, or a yearning to still be part of your journey. His emotions are conflicted because part of him still feels connected to you, even as he tries to celebrate you from afar. These strong reactions highlight an important truth: emotional energy does not lie. When someone responds with intensity to news about you, it means you still occupy a meaningful space in their heart and mind. His heart has not reached emotional closure, even if his words and actions suggest otherwise. For you, recognizing these reactions can be both flattering and confusing. It might make you wonder if there is still a chance to reconnect. But it is important to look beyond the emotions and consider the bigger picture. Are his strong reactions accompanied by meaningful actions toward growth, communication, and healing? Or are they simply emotional reflexes without real effort to build something healthier? It is also essential to protect your own emotional well-being. While it is natural to feel touched by the idea that someone still cares, you deserve a relationship built on stability and emotional maturity, not just lingering feelings and dramatic reactions. If you sense that his emotions are causing turbulence in your life or making it harder for you to move forward, setting clear boundaries is an act of self-love. At the end of the day, his strong reactions to hearing about you reveal that the story between you two is not yet emotionally finished, at least not on his side. Whether that unfinished story leads to a new chapter or finally finds its true ending depends on both of your willingness to reflect, grow, and make intentional choices for the future. Until then, remember, you are not responsible for managing someone else's emotions. You are responsible for honoring your own path, your own healing, and the beautiful future you are building, whether he is part of it or not. Number 5. He has not moved on to a new serious relationship. After a breakup, it is natural for people to eventually seek new connections and rebuild their romantic lives. Moving on often involves finding new experiences, meeting new people, and forming new bonds. However, when a man remains single for a long time after a breakup, or only engages in shallow, fleeting interactions, it can be a powerful sign that he has not truly moved on from you. Remaining single after a relationship ends is not necessarily about enjoying freedom or taking time for self-growth. Sometimes, it is a reflection of unresolved feelings and emotional attachment. If your ex continues to avoid serious relationships months or even years after your breakup, it is often because no one else has filled the space you once occupied in his heart. One clear sign is when he dates casually but never lets anyone get too close. He might have brief flings or superficial connections, but there is no emotional depth, no real commitment. Deep down, he might still compare every new woman he meets to you, consciously or unconsciously. And because no one measures up to the connection you shared, he remains emotionally unavailable for anything serious. Another telling behavior is when he seems disinterested in dating altogether. Maybe friends encourage him to meet someone new, but he resists or shows no genuine enthusiasm. If he seems content to stay single while quietly following your life from a distance, it is because his heart is still entangled in the memories and emotions he shared with you. In some cases, he might even openly admit that he is not ready for a new relationship. He might say things like, "I'm just focusing on myself right now," or "I'm not looking for anything serious." While personal growth is important, sometimes these statements are masks for deeper feelings of longing and unresolved attachment. There is also the pattern of almost relationships. These are situations where he meets someone new but sabotages the connection before it becomes serious. Fear of vulnerability, emotional comparisons to you, or an internal sense that something is missing can prevent him from fully opening his heart again. These brief, uncommitted experiences often reveal that he is still emotionally anchored to the past. Social media can offer additional clues. If his profiles remain filled with nostalgic posts, old photos, or quotes about loss and regret, it suggests that he is not embracing a new chapter. Instead, he is still mentally living in the world he shared with you. Another subtle but telling behavior is when mutual friends notice and comment on his situation. If people close to him mention that he still talks about you, still asks about you, or seems stuck, it confirms that he has not emotionally moved forward. Mutual friends often observe things that he might not even realize he is revealing through his words and actions. Importantly, it is not just about whether he is technically single. It is about whether he has truly healed and opened himself up to love again. A man can date dozens of women and still be emotionally loyal to the memory of one person. True emotional closure is about acceptance, peace, and the ability to love again, not simply about filling the void with new faces. For you, seeing that he has not moved on can evoke a mixture of emotions. It might stir feelings of validation, sadness, or even hope. But it is essential to remember that someone else's emotional stagnation is not your responsibility. You deserve to build your future based on mutual growth, not out of lingering guilt or unresolved ties. If you are considering the possibility of reconciliation, it is important to ask whether the two of you have grown and changed enough to build something stronger than before. Simply clinging to the past, without addressing the reasons the relationship ended, will only lead to repeated heartbreak. If you are determined to move forward without him, recognize that his inability to find new love is his journey to navigate, not yours to fix. Sometimes, love stories end even when the feelings do not completely disappear. It is one of the bittersweet truths of life. At the end of the day, the fact that he has not moved on to a new serious relationship is a testament to the impact you had on his life. You were not just another chapter, you were a significant part of his story. Whether your paths ever cross again or not, that truth remains. And as you move forward, remember, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you build with yourself. Your future deserves someone who chooses you not because they cannot move on from the past, but because they see a future worth creating together. Number 6. He accidentally shows up at places you often go. In the aftermath of a breakup, random encounters can happen. Running into an ex at a familiar cafe, gym, or bookstore might simply be a coincidence. However, when it happens repeatedly and in places you are known to frequent, it is rarely just by chance. If he accidentally shows up at places you often go, it can be a strong indication that he is still emotionally attached and not quite ready to let you go. These encounters often feel casual on the surface. He might act surprised, offer a friendly smile, and engage in small talk as if the meeting was completely unplanned. But deep down, there is usually a hidden motive: he wants to see you. Being physically near you, even without direct communication, provides a sense of connection he is struggling to find elsewhere. In many cases, he knows your routines well. During the relationship, he learned your favorite spots. The cafe where you get your morning coffee, the park where you jog, the bookstore you love to visit on weekends. When he shows up at these places after the breakup, especially multiple times, it suggests he is seeking opportunities to be around you without appearing too obvious. This behavior can stem from several emotional needs. First, it allows him to maintain a sense of proximity. Even if you are no longer together, seeing you from a distance or exchanging a few words satisfies a lingering emotional hunger. It eases the pain of separation, even if only temporarily. Second, he might be hoping for spontaneous interactions that could reignite the spark between you. Casual encounters are low-pressure opportunities. They create openings for conversations, shared smiles, and moments that feel natural and unforced. In his mind, these moments might lead to something more. A reconnection, a second chance, a rekindling of feelings. Sometimes, he might even try to look his best during these accidental meetings. Wearing clothes you used to compliment, adopting a confident posture, or casually mentioning positive updates about his life are subtle ways of trying to impress you. His hope is that you will see him in a new light or remember why you fell for him in the first place. Of course, not every sighting is intentional. true coincidences happen. But if it becomes a pattern, if you start noticing him at your regular places more often than seems plausible, it is a sign worth paying attention to. His actions reveal a reluctance to let go of the physical and emotional spaces you once shared. Additionally, pay attention to his demeanor during these encounters. If he seems nervous, overly eager, or emotionally charged, it further confirms that seeing you still affects him deeply. He might struggle to maintain casual composure, or his eyes might linger longer than appropriate, betraying his inner emotions. In some cases, mutual friends might mention that he has been asking about your favorite hangouts or events you plan to attend. Even if he tries to be discreet, his interest in your whereabouts indicates a strong desire to remain connected to your world. For you, these repeated encounters can create a complex mix of emotions. It might feel flattering to know that you still matter to him. At the same time, it can be emotionally draining, especially if you are trying to create distance and move forward. These unexpected meetings can stir up old memories, reopen emotional wounds, or create confusion about what he really wants. It is important to trust your intuition. If you feel that his presence is not purely coincidental, acknowledge the emotional reality behind it. Decide whether you want to engage with him, set boundaries, or gently distance yourself to protect your emotional healing. If you are open to the possibility of reconnection, these encounters could serve as gentle opportunities to rebuild communication. However, genuine healing and renewal require more than just physical proximity. They demand honest conversations, growth, and a willingness to address the issues that led to the breakup. If you are committed to moving on, creating new routines and exploring different places can help. Changing your environment not only minimizes chances of unwanted encounters but also symbolizes a new chapter in your life, a chapter defined by your choices, growth, and independence. Ultimately, when a man keeps showing up at places you often go, it is a silent testament to the impact you had on his life. Even if he cannot find the words to express it, his actions reveal a heart that is still searching for connection, comfort, and perhaps a way back to what was lost. But your journey forward should always be shaped by your hopes, your healing, and your vision for the future, not by someone else's inability to let go. Number 7. His eyes still tell a story when he looks at you. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and nowhere is that more true than when emotions run deep. After a breakup, words can be guarded, actions can be calculated, but the eyes often reveal truths that the heart is not ready to admit. If you notice that his gaze still carries a certain softness, longing, or intensity when he looks at you, it is one of the clearest signs that he has not truly let you go. When a man has moved on, his eyes become neutral when he looks at his former partner. There is no lingering emotion, no hidden sadness, no unspoken words trapped behind his glance. But when he is still emotionally attached, his eyes betray him. Even if he acts distant or casual, a single look can speak volumes. You might catch him stealing glances when he thinks you are not looking. His gaze might linger a fraction longer than necessary, filled with a tenderness he tries to hide. There could be a flicker of sadness, a spark of regret, or even a silent plea for connection. These moments are raw, unfiltered glimpses into his inner world, the part of him that still remembers, still hopes, still aches. The way he looks at you might also shift depending on the situation. In crowded rooms, his eyes might instinctively seek you out, as if needing the reassurance of your presence. In quiet moments, his gaze might soften, filled with memories only the two of you share. Even if you are surrounded by others, there can be an invisible thread between you, carried silently through his eyes. Sometimes, you might notice that he struggles to meet your gaze altogether. He might look away quickly, fidget, or appear uncomfortable. This avoidance is just as telling. It often reflects a conflict within him. He wants to look at you, to connect, but doing so stirs emotions he is not ready to confront. The depth of what is communicated through the eyes cannot be underestimated. A man who has moved on does not look at his ex with lingering affection or hidden pain. His gaze becomes polite, detached, respectful. But a man who still feels something, love, regret, longing, cannot fully mask it, no matter how hard he tries. You might also notice moments where his eyes seem to speak before his words do. For example, when you laugh, his eyes might light up instinctively, reflecting the way he used to cherish your happiness. When you are sad, there might be a flicker of concern he cannot suppress. These involuntary reactions are powerful reminders that emotionally, he is still connected to you. In some cases, his gaze might be filled with apology, the kind of silent "I am sorry" that words could never fully capture. In others, it might be full of hope, silently asking whether there could still be another chance. Either way, the emotions contained in those glances are genuine, often more honest than anything he could say aloud. For you, noticing the way he looks at you can be both comforting and painful. It can stir up old emotions, reignite dormant hopes, or deepen your own sense of loss. It is important to approach these moments with clarity and self-awareness. Ask yourself, is his gaze accompanied by real efforts to heal and rebuild? Or is it simply a reflection of emotions that he is not ready, or willing, to act upon? It is easy to romanticize what is communicated through looks alone. But relationships are not rebuilt through longing glances, they require conversation, accountability, growth, and action. While his eyes might still tell a story of love and regret, it is up to both of you to decide whether that story leads to a new beginning or remains a bittersweet memory. If you are moving forward with your life, recognize his gaze for what it is, a sign that you mattered, that what you shared was real. It is a tribute to the connection you once had. But you deserve more than just lingering looks, you deserve a love that shows up with words, actions, and presence every single day. If you are open to reconnecting, remember that emotional intensity must be matched with real change. Feelings alone are not enough. They must be accompanied by a mutual willingness to create something healthier, stronger, and more lasting. At the end of the day, the story his eyes tell is a powerful one. It speaks of emotions that have not faded with time, of connections that distance has not erased. Whether you choose to revisit that story or close that chapter for good, always remember. You deserve a love that looks at you not only with longing but also with certainty, commitment, and joy. Conclusion. Recognizing that an ex has not truly let go can stir both hope and hesitation, but clarity is empowering. Each of the 7 signs, his silent surveillance on social media, constant excuses to contact you, nostalgic conversations, heightened reactions to news about you, reluctance to embrace a new serious relationship, accidental appearances in your favorite places, and the unmistakable story told by his eyes, reveals lingering attachment rather than coincidence. Together, they paint a portrait of someone caught between the past you shared and a future he has not yet defined on his own. Yet knowledge alone does not dictate your next step, your response must be guided by your own growth, needs, and boundaries. If these signs awaken a desire to explore reconciliation, ask whether both of you have addressed the root causes of the breakup, grown individually, and can now meet each other with greater maturity. Honest dialogue, accountability, and concrete change, not nostalgia, must form the foundation of any new beginning. Conversely, if you are ready to move forward without him, let these signs serve as affirmation, not distraction. His unfinished feelings are his responsibility to process. You are free to redefine your routines, nurture new connections, and build a life aligned with your aspirations. Compassion for his struggle need not become permission to pause your own evolution. Ultimately, your worth is not measured by someone's inability to forget you but by the vibrant life you choose to create. Whether the chapter with him remains closed or reopens with renewed intention, let your decisions honor the person you are today and the future you envision, grounded in self-respect, clarity, and unwavering commitment to your own well-being. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. I hope you found some useful lessons about love and relationships. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I appreciate your support and will continue to bring valuable content in future videos. Please continue to join me on my journey to learn about love and relationships. See you soon, and I wish you happiness.